Okay, let's go.
106-year-old cruise passenger returns to Pearl Harbor with her husband's unusual wartime relics.
Aloha and open your wallet. A new tax in Hawaii is rocking Disney Cruise Line's wonder.
Duck and cover, Carnival Cruise Line is cracking down on fake free drinks. All that and more on this week's roundup of cruise news.
Welcome to Gen X Cruise Life. If you turned age 30 at age 10 and you're still age 30 at age 50, well then this is the cruise channel for you.
This first story is a tearjerker. There's a 106-year-old former Navy nurse. Her name is Alice Beck Darrow, and she's traveling on a 28-day cruise from Alaska to Hawaii on the Holland America ship Westerdam. She is part of this collaboration between Holland America and the History Channel.
Mrs. Darrow delivered a bullet that she is donating to the Pearl Harbor National Memorial Museum. That bullet was once lodged in her late husband's heart. During the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, 23-year-old fire controlman Dean Darrow was serving aboard the USS West Virginia when his ship was struck by torpedoes. As the ship listed to its port side, he was thrown into the water, where he had to swim under a burning layer of oil. As he was being pulled from the water and into a rescue boat, the Japanese planes began shooting the water surface with machine guns. Dean was hit in the back by one of the Japanese bullets.
And that's where he met a young nurse named Alice who took care of him. The surgeons miraculously removed the bullet from his heart. Against all odds, he survived, and they were married and lived a long, happy life together. They had 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 11 great-grandchildren together.
That's amazing.
Alice enlisted in the Army after she graduated from nursing school at Chico State in California.
The couple cherished the bullet that had brought them together, and now it will be forever part of the museum. That brings us to our next story, which is also about Hawaii, only this one's not good.
So Disney Cruise Line just this week started notifying its guests that they're going to be implementing much higher taxes for their upcoming cruise.
This is the result of the new Transient Accommodation Tax that passed in May of 2025. This is the first time that the state has applied such a tax on the cruise industry.
The new tax takes effect January 1st, 2026, and will affect all cruises coming in after that date.
The impacted cruise is Disney Wonder's February 16th, 2026 voyage, a 10-night one-way sailing from Honolulu to Vancouver. Disney Cruise Line has reached out to booked guests just over 3 weeks before their final payment is due to alert them of the increased charge.
In a statement from Disney to its passengers, we are writing you with important information related to your upcoming cruise, which includes a visit to Hawaii. The state of Hawaii will be implementing an 11% Transient Accommodation Tax, or a TAT, as well as a 3% local county TAT on a portion of your cruise fare based on the time spent docked in Hawaii.
The exact amount of the increase will be based on the amount that the passenger actually spent. An extra $400 on my bill? I better get a free lei, a Mai Tai. Hell, Don Ho better come out for $400 extra.
And sing Tiny Bubbles with the sail away.
Yeah, absolutely. For $400,
Yep.
Don Ho and some Tiny Bubbles.
Yep.
Cruise lines do have the authority to adjust fares and pricing at any time for any reason.
Once a guest confirms their reservations, the rates are usually locked in, but the taxes and the port fees can change depending on the location. Most cruise lines attempt to estimate these charges so that you don't have sticker shock at the end, but in this case, they did have to adjust the price upward.
If the cruise line were to overestimate these fees, they might give you a refund in the form of an onboard credit. So we want to ask you, does an extra $300 to $450 make Hawaii a no-go?
Per person.
Per person. We want to know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button. And if you've watched us more than once, or if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. You know, back in our day, a good prank was switching out your friend's Def Leppard cassette for a cassette of Barry Manilow. Now it looks like people are putting fake free drink coupons on rubber ducks.
These prank ducks are causing quite a headache for the ship's bartenders and waiters.
Yeah, you know this story. We've talked about it many times. It's these rubber ducks people bring on the cruise ship,
Right.
and they hide them places. And then other people go and look for them, and it's a thing. People like it. It's done on Carnival, Royal Caribbean, yeah, and Norwegian. It's done everywhere. But now we got a twist.
Now they think it's April Fool's Day. They're being hidden all over Carnival cruise ships, promising free drinks, and no wonder John Heald has gotten involved. While Carnival Cruise Line loves the rubber ducks, these bad faith jokes might put a damper on that.
The issue came to the attention of John Heald, Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador. It's raised so much concern that he has called out the practice and is urging guests to stop. Please, whoever is doing this, stop. It is not fair on the guest, and it is not fair on the bartenders and servers who have to be the ones to say, sorry, there are no free drinks, Heald explained. If you find one of these, well, unfortunately you have been pranked, Heald confirmed. We apologize because it isn't very funny. These ducks were brought on board by other guests, and any promotion or offer you may see on them is not valid. For duck's sake, please stop doing this. You know, they're never going to get rid of those ducks.
Never.
And they've said as much.
Right.
They like the ducks. They know people like it.
They can't stop it.
No, there's no stopping
They
it.
confiscate it like they confiscate those booze things that people try to bring on board.
Yeah. You know, it brings too many people too much joy.
Yes.
So they're not going to walk that back. However, this is just, could you imagine being a bartender and having to go, I just had the 10th one. No, there's no free drinks.
This is just nonsense.
And who enjoys that? Like, what pleasure would you get out of doing that? They had to go and get their printer and print them all out, make them look
They put
official.
the Carnival whale tail on it, made it look totally official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. People have too much time on their hands.
They really do.
In this next story, who knew that river cruises were this popular?
I know. We did a story a couple of weeks back on Celebrity Cruise Line. They are launching some riverboat cruises in Europe starting next year. And then we did a follow-up story that they were doing the reserving, right?
Yeah, $500, and you reserve the right to be the first to reserve these initial cruises.
Right. When they become available, they don't have the dates yet or the itineraries.
Right, and wouldn't you know it? Broke the internet, but not really. It just crashed their site. There was so much interest in there. So many people wanted to hand over their hard-earned $500 to be the first, and it crashed in 6 minutes.
6 minutes, right. So this week they released the next set of reservations.
And they sold out. Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
So this is going to be very popular. They're starting off in Europe, right? Was it the Danube and the Rhine?
Danube and the Rhine, yes.
Yeah, and we might even have to take a river cruise.
I would love that. And we're going to put a link in here to the stories that we ran previously if you want to go back and check that out.
We had a couple of emergencies on board cruise ships this week.
And they were both on Carnival. On September 21st, Carnival Pride arrived in Bermuda more than 15 hours early due to a medical emergency with a guest on board. The ship's shops and casino operations were closed early to comply with local laws as the vessel arrived in Bermuda. You can imagine that made the people on board happy. Guests were cleared to go ashore after the medical debarkation was complete, and the ship remained in Bermuda until the original scheduled departure.
The upside was this emergency allowed the guests to spend an extra evening in Bermuda.
The next emergency happened on board the Carnival Venezia. They were only out at sea for a couple of hours out of New York when they had a medical emergency on September the 22nd.
The ship was approximately 30 miles offshore when the emergency call was made and the U.S. Coast Guard successfully evacuated the guest. While the nature of the medical evacuation has not been confirmed, Carnival Cruise Line did confirm the evacuation. And now we have a story about Princess Cruise Line. They just took delivery of their newest ship, and it's a mega ship.
This is their 17th ship and the second in their Sphere class line, following the 2024 launch of their Sun Princess. This one is called the Star Princess, and it's going to be sailing out of Barcelona.
This will be a 4,300 passenger ship, and it's going to embark on a Western Mediterranean cruise as its maiden voyage.
The Sphere class ships brought several new features to Princess Cruises, including the Dome, a multi-deck entertainment space, the Princess Arena show venue, and the Piazza, a 3-story grand atrium at the center of the ship.
Guests on the Star Princess will enjoy 30 dining venues and bars and get to choose from more than 24 stateroom choices. So what do you guys think? Does this sound like a good ship? It sounds like a lot of fun.
I think so too. It sounds great. It makes me want to go sail Princess.
Yeah, an atrium, 30 bars and restaurants. Sounds like a good time.
We've had subscribers, people that have commented on previous stories, tell us that Princess Cruises is like the best value for your money.
Yeah, we have been on it, but we haven't been on it a lot. So we want to know what you think, though. Have you been on Princess? Is it a good value? Is this something that you'd want to do?
Tell us about your Princess experiences. Leave us a comment below.
Yeah, and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. And now we've got a video about Amazon Cruise Essential Contest. You've still got a few more days to enter, and a video that YouTube thinks you haven't seen, and that's coming up right now.